just going to do some. We'll move that out of the way. Trying the new stash. Stashola. Wow, when you go from glasses to no glasses like that, it's jacked up, y'all. Bitcoin just hit 109,509, way down there. This is why one must keep money in USDC, because I have money in my bank. I was like, oh, I should deposit some dough. I had no more liquid. I've been trading all morning, buying fun stuff. Even bought, I think, more Fartcoin. My God, what am I doing? But Bitcoin hit 100, way down. I've been waiting for this moment, and I spent the whole load, like $3,000 that I had saved up, and I just kept buying stuff and I bought Bitcoin along the way. Like I was just checking out the ledger, like 114, 110, 112, 115. So I've been buying, but now it hit 109, and if I could just held tight, because we can't see the future, right? But if you could have just held tight on a stack of USDC, and when the market is timing, again, you could put these limit buys in. If it ever hits, like, you just never know how far down it's going to go. And I think I put in a limit buy like about a couple weeks ago for around 109.80, but it just never went. So I took it off the table, because when you have those different buys in there, they take out of your, what potentially could be taken out of your excuse me, out of your account. So example, if I had $1,000 in my account and I put a limit buy for 500 for something, even if it never hits, it's basically now I'm deducted in the ledger, that goes ledger, minus 500, because I have that order in. So if I put another order in, they're going to limit me to how much how much that order is going to be worth. So $500 on the next one, or it might even be a little less. It'll be like total of $500, because the purchase price plus the whatever the fees are. So they kind of calculate that when you go to make your buy offer. So it's good to keep USDC, a nice stack of USDC, so you could make some of these buy offers. Like, if Ethereum goes down to 4,000, put a buy offer in. Again, Bitcoin hits 109, 110,000, you put a limit buy in for that price, and you set and forget it. And you can set them for 112 and whatever that range is you want to set for your dollar cost averaging, like I've talked about before, like many people have talked about. That's what you must do. So I just wanted to do a live because it's super, super impressive to see Bitcoin drop like that. I get excited when Bitcoin drops like that, because it's an opportunity to buy for cheap. And I know it rattles some people. You have to have conviction in Bitcoin. And if you don't have the conviction, just keep on researching. It is not a crypto, like everyone just confuses. They say crypto assets and cryptocurrency and crypto. And I think it just gets lumped in with Bitcoin, or Bitcoin gets lumped in with that. And it's a wrong way to look at it. Bitcoin, it's its own unique thing. It's limited to 21 million. No other coin is limited. They're all uncapped. They can just go and how they're set up their thing. I know some of them are built in to only release so many coins, but none of them are capped. Bitcoin's the only one that's capped. So 21 million. We've already lost a whole bunch. The guy over there in England lost his in a computer in the landfill. And then what's funny is I never was a part of any kind of gaming to utilize Bitcoin, but at the beginning of learning, I thought maybe my computer had Bitcoin in it, because like the magic powers of mining, and like if you were using the internet, I had no idea what it is. Like, you have to have a specific GPU that runs the software and that mines. You have to actually set up. There's another way. If you are part of gaming, and the gaming application allowed Bitcoin to be won or purchased or used in the game, then your computer could be holding Bitcoin in that type of reference. Okay, so I never gamed with Bitcoin. I never earned Bitcoin like that. I was bought through exchange. But yeah, there you go. Or if you hold your seed phrase in your computer, which you should never do. But yeah, let's see. Come on. Messages held review. View messages. What? Show them all. Oh, sorry, stupid noob. Stupid noob. Oh, okay. Thank you, stupid noob. Really? I guess everyone has to be a stupid noob, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, if I'm the stupid noob, even though I'm not a noob, I've been in this for 5 years, so I don't consider that a newbie by any means. And I bought Bitcoin when it was below 5 grand. So yeah, I wasn't in there at $1, and I wasn't in at 1,000. I could have been, but I wanted to do my research. I didn't know. Again, didn't know. Didn't know. Going back in time, didn't know. And if you think, Mr. Perla or Miss Perla, if you think that you knew from the get, check yourself. All right, Satoshi? Give me a break already. I can't stand that crap, man. Talk junk on there. You know, like I bet you if you were here, you would be like, you stupid noob, stupid. No, you'd be like, oh, bro, like, yeah, that's kind of funny. You thought that? That's hilarious, actually, right? Like, you can make fun of it, but you don't gotta like disgrace people or put people down. Come on, man. You can make fun of my mustache. Come on, make fun of the mustache at least. Don't make fun of because I didn't know about the Bitcoin thing, you know? Anyways. Ethereum. Right now, Ethereum's in a good spot, I think, because if you've been in it for a while, you could still take a decent amount of profit. Or like right near all-time highs. Come on, the mustache is cool. Oh, hello. Mwah. Thank you for the mustache compliment. If you've been into Ethereum when it was in the 3-digit mark, I could see where you would want to maybe convert. Like, no, don't. I mean, when I say take profit, sometimes you can take USDC or you can just take and put right into a bit. I think Bitcoin's the best way to go, especially like when it hits at 109. They weren't even expecting. If you hear all the analysis, everyone's like, oh, our bottom is going to be a testing at around 110, 110.5. They're saying the retest. It hit into the 109s. I had a feeling. I got rid of around 6,000. I've said this before. Around. Thanks for this, man. I really need this. Oh, cool. I appreciate that. I sold about $6,000 worth of Bitcoin in July when it hit about 109.5, and it was retesting, and I thought it would go back down and I could repurchase again, and I just didn't. It never hit. So what I did is along this last month, I've been buying ADA, SUI, Solana, Ethereum. I've been taking arbitrage off Ethereum. A lot of people don't know what the arbitrage is. Ethereum goes to 5 grand. You go, oh, I'm going to sell 1 Ethereum. It drops down to 4 grand. You go ahead and buy 1 Ethereum. Now you have $1,000 arbitrage. I know I'm not trying to speak to people like a kid by any means. I'm just, a lot of people, I say arbitrage to my friends and they're like, what do you mean by arbitrage? Gary Vee used to say, you know, he talked about arbitrage all the time. And I'm like, okay, this arbitrage thing, I got to really figure this out. So yeah, don't be scared when the market hits 109, man. That's a buying opportunity. I know a lot of people just they don't understand Bitcoin, so it's really hard to be really, really all in on something that you just don't completely understand. I'm going to tell you, this thing's not going anywhere. Yes, there's volatility there. Sounds like you're printing money to me. Me? Printing money? Kinda. I mean, I'm not printing money. The U.S. government's printing money. I just put my dollar into USDC, and then from there, I buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, blah, 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 blah. I did buy some fart coin, junk coin. Do not buy it. I'm not, none of this is financial advice anyways. This is just my experience in telling you how I'm approaching this, okay? So when things dip in price at that kind of level, 12, 13, 14%, and you know in the future it's gonna go higher, that's just a buy opportunity, you know. And again, who's gonna afford just going to go buy 1 Bitcoin? First of all, that'd be a horrible thing to go do, is just drop 120K, 110K on a coin. That'd be crazy. I hear about people, hey, I got 10 grand, should I just buy a Bitcoin? Like, buy some Bitcoin? Yeah, buy some Bitcoin, but DCA, dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. That means you buy a little in and buy a little out. Sorry, buy a little in and take a little out. And you can do it over periods of time. You know, I know a lot of people, Wendio talks about that a lot, but like I said, the arbitrage right now with Ethereum is really, really good, and take advantage. So, crypto bubbles. Some crypto bubbles here. Oh, my lunch just came. Lunch is here. Real quick, let's just see here. Crypto bubbles up net. Market's down. Market is down. Linkovich Chomovsky. You guys, Link has been doing phenomenal, even though it's down 1.6% right now. Market cap's at 15.69 billion. A lot of volume, 2 billion in market cap. You guys, these are numbers that Bitcoin used to run off of. Like, if you go back like 6 years, 7 years, like that's the kind of numbers that Bitcoin was running on. Like, you look at the market cap, it wasn't even anywhere near $1 trillion. Speaking of Near's Near protocol. God, there's so much money in the market. There's so much money in the market. 4 trillion. I gotta go get my lunch. Hang tight. Here, I'm gonna play this background. I hope I don't get. Can I get strike on this thing? If I put something playing? It's okay, it's just food.
Yeah, we had this event happen, okay, which dropped Bitcoin down from
Right, so this is
115
Cryptos R Us, we
down
got
to
plenty of background,
110. That was with a $3 billion sell simultaneously, okay, to do that. And then we recovered, and then we had another 12,000 Bitcoin sold, and we didn't go any lower. We're still at the same point, basically, as yesterday, which shows how strong the market is. Remember when Germany had 30,000 Bitcoin and wanted to sell? It did that, it rocked markets a little bit, and then we recovered. This time around, you have someone intentionally trying to bring the market down, and they did a little bit, a few percentage points, but overall Bitcoin is still remaining strong. I made this point in my video yesterday. If this happened last cycle or during the winter or during any other time besides now, because volatility is the lowest right now, we would have seen a 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% drop with alts and 10+% with Bitcoin, and that's not what we're seeing right now, right? So you gotta view it positive. That yes. Yeah, even though this person sold, well, that's 36,000 less Bitcoin that could be dumped on the market. It's being spread out. It's being decentralized if you think about it in terms of supply, and you know, we will move forward. It's not going to stop anything. It really won't. Speaking of Saylor, decided to buy 3,000 Bitcoin. It's not 36,000 Bitcoin, but you know, he's been buying every week. So
imagine making a buy for 3,000 Bitcoin right now. That's
right?
Crazy.
And he holds 632,000 Bitcoin. Now, if Saylor sold 600,000 Bitcoin at once, that would disrupt things. But even if he did that, maybe we have a 30% correction for Bitcoin, but we will recover from that. Even if he sold that, the market has so much demand now, we will still recover from that. It's not like if he did, Bitcoin would just slide down to zero and die. No, it won't. So that's the beauty. Short-term volatility always happens, but it's not going to stop the train. This is an unstoppable train at this point, right? And it's not just Saylor that's buying. All these other companies from Japan now have bought just recently, and they continue to buy more. So there you go. Now, speaking of volatility, I didn't mention volatility for Bitcoin right now is near like all-time low. If you look at the orange, basically, look at how high it was in 2020. Then look at 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, right? And 2025, yeah, we climbed up a little bit, but we're falling back down to that ultra low level. Bitcoin volatility is the lowest it's basically ever been in any cycle. It's lower than even someone like Nvidia, right? It's not as low as gold, but that's a good thing. We don't want it to be as low as gold yet, because then basically it never stops. It never moves anymore. But a lot of you guys may be new, or a lot of you guys maybe are not new, and you're frustrated. But just know that any kind of movement that we're seeing now, any kind of retracement, is like very, very tame compared to how things were in previous cycles. Again, people don't realize how volatile it was in previous cycles. Even 2021 cycle, which didn't seem like it was that long ago. It was really 4 years ago.
I'm almost
seemed
done.
like it was decades ago. But even 2021 cycle, people forget, we fell down 50% mid-pump, mid-parabolic phase. 64,000 down to 28,000 before going back up to 69,000. That's volatility, okay? When we go down like 5%, 10%, and then we recover, that's nothing compared to like a 50% drop. And that's what Bitcoin, alts within that time dropped like 80%. And that happened within like a month. Right, so just keep in mind, if you're a little bit, I don't know, scared, know that right now, this is the least volatile cycle of any before. And again, when in doubt, zoom out and realize that, hey, we're doing pretty well compared to 6 months ago, or a year ago, or 2 years ago, or whatever, right? So, now, some good news. We formed a CME gap. We always talk about the stupid CME gaps that bring us lower. But hey, now we got a higher one because we closed on Friday at 117,200, I think, right? So basically where we are now to the top there, we got a big gap to fill. And these gaps always tend to fill one way or another. So we're going to fill this gap.
Yep.
And that means we're going to climb back up.
$16,000, you guys.
Whether it's today, tomorrow, end of the week, it's going to happen. These CME gaps somehow always gets filled. So this is, in one case, it's helping us because we always have these CME gaps at the bottom, and somehow we always go down to a level to fill them. But we got an upper one to look forward to. All right, Bitcoin, basically, according to some traders, we need to get back to 112, and then we could get back to 120, no problem, right? But this whale that keeps dumping, and plus, Wall Street's looking pretty red. Let's see what happens today. Let's see if we can recover.
Why do you think
today? We get a lot of shakeout times, right? And then we recover really, really quickly. Today could be one of those days. We'll see. Outside of Bitcoin, I talked about ETH. ETH is still extremely strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a ton of whales now loading up on ETH all of a sudden. They're making this
exactly
switch.
44, 45.
So you got this whale that just scooped up another 108 million of Ether, right? And then you got, look at this chart. Look at this chart. Basically, average order size on Binance for ETH. You can see all that accumulation. And you know when this happened last? Look
21?
at 2021, right?
Exactly.
All the way up. The first time leading up to that 64,000 mark, all that whale accumulation. Look at all that, right? And then the second time around, it wasn't It wasn't ETH accumulation. It was just more Bitcoin. So this is actually quite interesting. In 2021, it shows the first rally was led by ETH, second rally was led by Bitcoin.
All right. Well,
Interesting. But nevertheless, you still have
a lot of room, you guys. A lot of room. And if I can like suggest anything, even though I'm not a financial advisor, based off of based off of Bitcoin history, just keep putting money in. $200 a week or $300 a week, or, like you're gonna decide that amount, but do it. Just keep doing it before it becomes so expensive that the $400 gives you so little satoshis. I'm telling you, I think 100% flip within 6 months. Don't trust me, or you're a noob, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, go watch my videos. Go into Top Snap Podcast and look at some of the shorts and videos. Go back 3, 4, 5 years when I'm like getting excited about $20,000 Bitcoin, breaking the $30,000 level. It's 100K. 100K flip on that. I know everyone's XRP Army and ADA, and listen, I love all that stuff, but get yourself into the Bitcoin. Get it. Get in there. I personally think you should be holding way more Bitcoin than any of those other coins that may outperform the Bitcoin. The thing is the relativity to the amount of volatility and how stable when you pan back and you look at Bitcoin, or you look at all the other altcoins. Listen, I know ETH is great, but if you listen to Charles Hoskinson from ADA, which is Cardano, and he's legit. He's like, Ethereum rushed, and they try to put out protocol after protocol and layer, and now they have protocols that are down deep that are going to have to be addressed. And when that dragon comes to show its head, Ethereum's going to take a big dump all over the place. That's why a lot of people say they don't see a $15,000 Ethereum. They say 10,000 maybe is a top, and that get your money out. I don't know. I don't know what the call is. I know I have some that's locked up, and grandfathered because I think California law or something like going on with Coinbase. Anyways, fancy cars coming here all the time, so I'm always looking out the window like Ferrari, Lambo, AMG, all that stuff. BMW. Crazy. It's good being around all the wealth, because it kind of just has a residual effect, I think, when you can kind of it's not awestruck. It's just more of like, oh, you can appreciate these people who have so much money coming in and out of here, and then you know that you can make that kind of money too. It just takes diligence and perseverance and a strong mindset, not just to go ahead and do investments, but to work hard and to maybe prolong or put off having a good time at the bar, having the extra vacation, having the spare car, having the hobby that costs a lot of money, like really the cost of entry. It's just kind of looking, I don't have any money for crypto. And it's like, you do, you just don't put it as a priority. And I think that's where people need to start putting a priority for Bitcoin, just for the future, especially if you're young, and I mean young like me, like under 50, that's young, okay? So he's talking about Grayscale seeking SEC approval for a spot avalanche ETF. You guys, there is so much money to be made in the future. And I mean in the next couple of years when the regulations and protocols get smoothed out. Or if any of you are old enough to know when the .com came in, that's what it all was. It was all regulation and stuff. And that stuff made a lot of companies take a dump. Boom. So a lot of people lost a lot of money. But if you were in there, that lucky segment, you aren't listening to this for sure. Canary Islands. I'm talking about a lot of offshore accounts. and more people taking their money and their assets out of the United States. So something to be aware of. Check on my dog. Lunch was great. In and out is awesome. I'm gonna get back to my work. Thanks for being on this live stream. It's 25 minutes. Thank you, George from Crypto RS, for filling it in and letting the people listen. I don't know if I'm gonna get, what do you call, trademark, whatever the copyright, maybe. Oh well. Well, if you're watching this the whole time, I appreciate you guys. Go look into Bitcoin. Study, study, study. Talk to you guys later. Boom. Aloha.